There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone.
Welcome to episode 85 of Sci-Fi Talk on the Fangirl Zone, a podcast where we discuss shows on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm Steve.
And I'm Sean, Fangirl S, and tonight we'll be discussing episode 5 of season 3 of Dark Matter. Woo! Yeah! Alright. Oh my gosh, Dark Matter just starts sucking me in. I told you it started, really getting Jason. He just sat down and he thought it was a new show. I'm like, no, you got a couple seasons to watch, so catch up and then we'll talk. But you have ratings news, which looking at these, I think is pretty good, so.
Yes, episode 5 brought in a 0.16 in adults 18 to 49 with 0.619 million viewers, and it rated 41st in all of cable shows for the evening. So it improved on its ratings from the previous week.
I think that's pretty good.
Yes,
it
is.
Like I said, I think a lot of people are like, oh, hey, it's back. And, realizing it, yeah. So I think
we're almost halfway through the season already here.
Yeah, well, and say that they figured it out quickly.
Right, that's true. All right, we also got the live plus 7 days for episode 2. It was 23rd in viewers percentage gain, going from 0.662 to 1.156 million viewers for an increase of 75%.
Nice.
Very nice.
So I'm happy these are going up.
Yes, absolutely. We definitely like to see the live plus 7 over 1 million viewers.
Yes.
That's kind of the magic number for sci-fi, is getting that one over 1 million viewers. Usually doesn't stress us out worrying if we're going to get renewed as much.
Right. Well, let's get on to episode 5, shall we?
All right. Give it up, Princess. Tabor Kalchek's girlfriend Amber is taken hostage by a business rival, demanding in exchange for her safety that Adrian hand over a data file detailing Ferris Corp's military shipbuilding plan. The Raza crew and Adrian plan to recover the file for themselves and rescue Amber by force. During their attempt to secure the file, Adrian and Five are arrested by Ferris security agents, and Adrian refuses to offer to betray the Raza crew in exchange for his safety. Later, Adrian, Solara, and Tu are captured by a security android, whom the Raza's android distracts by offering him a copy of her behavioral upgrade. When they arrive to rescue Amber, she reveals that she was in league with her abductor, but kills him and attempts to take the data file for herself before being stopped by the Raza crew. Investigating the Ferris construction facilities, they find out the ships are already gone. Meanwhile, #Stupid Masaki and Rio's advisor Teku jockey for influence over Rio.
So there was some interesting plots happening and some that I was wondering where they were going to take us. So where shall we start? Shall we start with Adrian, since he seemed to be a big part of it this time?
Yeah, this was kind of his episode, wasn't it?
It was, and then just because you said the other day when we recorded, you're like, oh yeah, but will they stay? I'm like, damn it. If they're doing a whole episode, something's going to happen.
Right.
Kind of is. Doesn't make me happy, but.
No. All right. Well, Adrian is concerned that he hasn't heard from Tabor, and he convinces the crew to call Tabor's hideout on Cassiar 4. Only they discover that Tabor's gone, but his girlfriend is being held by competitor Goran.
I wondered who that guy was.
Yeah. Now, of course, the girlfriend is played by someone that is dear to our hearts from Defiance.
I was watching going, wait a minute. Is that her?
Yep, that's Anna.
Oh, gosh. So many people. And I'm just going to say that I'm seeing more of our sci-fi people in like all the other sci-fi shows, and it's driving me crazy.
Right.
Because I'm like, wait, who's that from? So thank you for bringing everybody and crossing them over. I do appreciate that, sci-fi.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now, the way the discussion goes down, the crew gets a little leery of Adrian's intentions, and he finally has to admit that, yes, he does have feelings for her.
I thought that was kind of obvious. I mean,
yeah, it really was.
Tabor's girlfriend, big deal, but
yeah, that was great. That 3 and 5, when they found out Tabor had a girlfriend. Tabor has a girlfriend?
Well, I mean, he was kind of annoying, so
yeah. Of course, Adrian asked for help to free the girlfriend, and he doesn't actually have the file.
but
He knows where it is, supposedly.
Yeah. Again, it's like, I don't believe you.
Right. Yeah, we start this wild goose chase to find the file. First takes us to Regulus 12, and of course that's been pretty much completely destroyed. And Adrian says, well, I know where Tabor keeps his backup files, and they're in a vault deep in Ferris-controlled territory. And you go, this is not going to turn out well.
Yeah, when you're like, oh yeah, don't worry, I have a way in. Again, it's like, but do you now?
Yeah.
You may have had a way. I don't trust that you have one now, though. Because Tabor, I think he's burned all his bridges.
I have a tendency to agree with you. And that's why we haven't seen or heard from him at all yet.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to pop up?
He's on the run. I have a feeling the crew will run into him.
Ah, okay.
I don't think he will actually seek out the crew, but I think somehow, some way, the crew and his path will cross.
Okay.
And that's not going to end well for Tabor.
No, because it'll be like, oh, hey, guys. Hi. Yeah, and it'll be really awkward. Kind of like it is now. It's like, oh.
Yes.
Let's go here. Oh, there's no anything here. Okay, let's go here. And we're arrested. All right. Obviously, if Tabor's missing, I mean, did you really think he's going to keep paying, like, those, it's not blackmail, what is it, like, bribes?
Right.
Because that's kind of a paper trail, right?
Yes, it is.
So if you don't want to be found, he's not going to be helping you out. And good job, because now you guys are in the slammer.
Yes. And the Ferris guard is doing everything he can to convince Adrian to turn over the Raza for his freedom.
But 5. I'm telling you, I need pictures so I know who's who. I didn't even recognize her. It took a second before I realized, because I'm so used to her with the green hair.
Right.
That when they're taken, and I mean, even the guard didn't recognize her, because I'm assuming they'd even have her picture up with the Raza crew.
Right. They should.
So he didn't recognize her either. Do you think if she wasn't there, Adrian would have been like, yeah, let's talk?
More than likely.
So 5 kept him honest.
Right.
And
because, he'd have been toast if he had turned him over and 5 said, oh, yeah, he agreed to it. And without even being tortured.
And what I think
just
is
flipped on him.
Kind of funny is a lot of people were talking, like, how old's 5 supposed to be? Because they're like, why does it seem like Tabor keeps kind of looking at her?
Right.
It's like, I don't know, I don't think he has a thing for her, do you? I think he's like, this girl's smart and knows computers, I can use her.
Right.
Or do you think it might have a little bit of romantic undertones?
I think it's probably possible. Figure he's probably mid to late 20s, I'm thinking. And she's probably 18 to 20.
I was thinking she was supposed to be like late teens, early 20s. And somebody's like, no, she's like 15. I'm like,
yeah, this is season 3 now. Yeah. Season 1, yes, she was. But we're now in season 3. So you figure she's got to have aged a couple of years.
Right. Okay. That's why I was like, I don't know how I felt about that when people kept saying, no, she's 15, she's 15. I'm like, I don't know if that's right. And if it is, now I'm a little creeped out by Adrian. But okay, now that you and I are at least in agreement that yes, she's not 15, I feel better about the whole thing. Okay. I'm sorry. Let's keep going about Adrian's really bad ideas.
Right. So, of course, he has one more idea of where Tabor might be stashing the data file. And sure enough, that gets them in even worse of a pickle. Because there's a security droid involved.
That was kind of funny because it's like, oh, hey, there's nothing happening here. We can do whatever. Hey, look, money, gold, this. And all of a sudden, we can't go past here.
Right. Force field shows up and
it's like, wait, we can't go back either. So they're finding what they need. I mean, basically, they can totally take everything out of there, right? Because it was a lot of stuff that's not useful for the crew, but I mean, the money and gold and stuff would be totally useful.
Right.
So I'm sure
and who knows? They could have sold the rest of the stuff too to
that's true.
help supply the ship. So,
but then again, we don't know what's been stolen and who you might be selling the stolen goods to. It might be the people who it was stolen from.
Or what other freaky items there might be in there, like the clock from the previous episode.
Right.
So.
And what if you're selling back like those masks to the people who they belonged to originally?
Oh, that would be good.
Exactly. See, that's why it's like, take the stuff you can use without having to try to sell anything and possibly get caught up.
Right.
But, hey, they get the file. Kind of.
Yeah, except they don't have the decryption program for it, which does nobody any good, of course. But they go ahead and head back to Cassiar 4 to try to save the girlfriend.
Yeah.
And that, again, didn't work out very well.
Yeah. I don't know, because it's like, all right, you have this guy holding the girl, and I'm thinking, all right, she just happened to be tied up and right in front of the camera for how long? Like originally. You're just assuming somebody's going to call at some point, and she's just going to be like tied up there? That seemed kind of odd to begin with.
Right.
And then when all of a sudden she's like, all right, well, you're going to die. Well, no, I'm sorry. The big man. Oh, well, we're going to kill you anyway. And then she kills him. It's like, oh, yay. Maybe she is on our side. And then she has the gun on Adrian. It's like, wait. And then even she's like, oh, you thought we might be together? Ew.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so wrong.
Yeah, that was definitely a dagger to the heart there for Adrian.
Especially after everything they'd gone through in this episode. So obviously this girl didn't know like jack squat about Tabor.
I have a feeling she was playing him just like she played Adrian. She just didn't have the opportunity to pull this type of scheme against Tabor.
Okay.
So I'm assuming just from that they hadn't been together for years and years and years. Otherwise, this scenario probably would have played out much earlier. So this had to be a fairly recent relationship.
Okay. Well, then, she tries to run, and that didn't get very far either. And I love it because Adrian's still like, no, don't shoot her. I don't know how I feel about that.
Right.
Maybe you should have shot her. Who is it that knocked her out? His bodyguard, right?
Solara.
Thank you. I'm like, what is her name? She manages to knock Ambrosia, Amberly, whatever her name is this week.
Right. Who knows? 'Cause I doubt it's either one of them. Adrian calls her Amber, but I think Tabor called her Ambrosia, but that's probably still not a real name.
Joan. Whatever.
Yeah.
And her sudden change of heart. I'm just like, come on, do not buy this crap.
Right.
Like,
that was so transparent, it wasn't funny.
I think I rolled my eyes so hard, like, they almost got stuck in the back of my head.
Yeah.
Basically, because it was like, come on. She's like,
yeah.
I was just scared. No. Don't play that. If you're going to try to be little Betty Badass, then be Betty Badass. Don't try to be like, I'm just so weak and helpless. Yeah, no.
Right.
I reject
Thank you,
that.
damsel.
And it's funny because the decryption program that she let slip saying, oh, don't worry, I know I have the decryption, happened to be in the necklace around her neck. I mean, lying, saying it was Tabor's favorite aunt or sister, and he didn't have any of those, lady.
Right.
So keeping it on you, good idea, because you're going to know where it is and nobody's really going to know, except bad idea because Adrian he's like, listen, these things only get to you if Tabor wants them to get to you. So he figured it out. I was a little, I don't know, sad that the whole thing happened the way it did.
Right.
Because that just irritated me.
Yeah.
But whatever. Okay. Let's move on, because they make me mad. But they just left her there, too. I'm like,
Right.
she'll get some other
So
poor
it is
sucker.
possible we could see her again as well.
Yeah, I'm sure she's going to have some other poor sucker come along, and she'll work out a plan.
Right.
So, two, I love that she's like, oh yeah, you know what? This file could totally help us. But
Right.
the rest of the crew kind of seems like, but is it a good idea?
Yeah.
And after the first time that there was a screw up, we know, like, 4 was like, screw this. I'm done. I'm sorry, no, 3. God, I can't get the numbers right. He's like, we're done, right? We're not doing this again? Crap, We're still doing this. All right, fine.
Yeah. Typical 3 attitude.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a whole, like, I keep trying to say Starbase, and that's not what it is, but
No.
Regular's 12, and there's nothing left. I would be worried. It's like, oh crap, what is going on with this?
Right.
And
did somebody destroy it looking for the file, or was it for another reason?
Right. Especially if it has to do with a fleet of ships. I mean, could these be some crazy futuristic ships like Android, kind of learned about last episode?
Right.
And they're doing this? Oh my gosh, what? What could this be? But, I don't know. I think he still has 5 on board, obviously, because 5 goes with them onto the Ferris station, and they're all planning to pick the lock all nice until things don't go right. But I really think that 2 was being a little bit too hopeful, I guess, just because of what we've seen in the past. I feel like she was a lot more hopeful than I expected her to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it sure does. Because recently, she's in this episode, 3 was the one who didn't want to get involved with anything, and 2 was that way with 6 and the laborers at the plant. And we kind of see a completely different attitude towards trying to help with 2 in this episode. Now, granted, she's not directly helping any individual group. She's just trying to help the galaxy overall by seeing if they can locate these ships and find out what's going on with them. So maybe it's more of a high level attitude of wanting to help than an individual type thing that it was with 6.
Okay. I don't know. Because when all is said and done and they end up decrypting the file and all the ships in that shipyard are gone, I wonder what 2's thinking then.
Right.
Because that's just kind of scary because does she want to have to go and find them all? Is she trying to get the crew back together? I don't want bad things to happen. And it gets scary when they get hopeful.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how 2 ends up reacting overall to this failure, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she was hoping to find the ship still being under construction so they could destroy them right then and there and not put a big dent in Ferris's plans.
Right.
They were just a little late, apparently.
Oh, we don't know how late a little late is.
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
All right. Well, we ended up having a nice little scene with 5 and Solara.
Mm-hmm.
And 5 asked Solara to teach her how to fight. So Solara agrees and quickly learns that 5 isn't quite the beginner that she was assumed.
That was kind of funny.
That was hilarious.
Because I'm like, wow, okay, you didn't take out an experienced fighter, but you
put her on her butt.
Right. Using the perception that she'll know nothing because she's young. I think was the best thing, even though that wasn't Five's intent with Solara.
No.
But you can't ever underestimate anyone. That's how people end up dead.
Yes.
In all of these shows. Okay.
And we actually get a moment where Five asks about Solara's past, and she tells her about how she learned to fight at a monastery until bandits broke in and killed everyone. So she had to kill the bandits.
Which, that was an interesting story, too, because basically it's like, okay, fighting monks, but they're not supposed to ever use their fight training.
Right.
And the only reason she lived was she was, what was it? She was at a peace mission at a village or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. But yeah, just because she wasn't there and the bandits broke into, I think it was get the books, too.
Right.
Well, come on. I mean, even though they're monks, you have killed all of her family, basically. You had to think retribution was coming somehow.
Right.
Unless these guys were pretty much just like, hands off policy no matter what, which obviously some of them were.
Yeah. But they all got their throat slit, so.
Technically, she didn't use her fighting then.
Apparently not.
She just used a big knife. Who knows?
And then, of course, we do get to see Five checking in with Six to remind us what's up with him. And even that doesn't go well because Commander Neiman of the Ferris Corp seems to have plans for the former crew member as he gives some very ominous instructions about using Agent Zero.
What is that?
Yeah.
Because he's staring at that photo of Six, and I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
I thought we knew everything about his past, and I'm feeling like we were lied to.
Well, I don't know if it's actually has anything to do with Six. It's probably just a new weapon that Ferris Corp has developed.
Oh, do you think maybe it's because he's there?
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, he makes the comment that this Alliance of Free Planets just needs to be destroyed now.
Okay, so it might not actually be anything to do with Six other than kind of wrong.
He's kind of leading them now, right.
Okay. Well, I would feel better than thinking that there's something about Six we don't know.
Yeah, I don't believe this has anything to do with Six. I may be wrong. I don't think it does.
Fingers crossed. All right. Can we talk about how awesome Android was this episode?
Oh my God, was that amazing or what?
It was so great. And she's the one who has the plan to figure out how to save Adrian and Five. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
And she goes on the station. She turns on her personality disc. I don't know how to call it.
Right.
Wearing that dress. And like all kind of stupid Southern heiress kind of thing.
Right.
And oh my God. And the guard just falling all over himself. And he's just talking and, oh, let me escort you. Yeah, it's so great. And the best part has got to be when, this guy keeps on asking, what about a drink? What about this? And she's like, oh yeah, I can't. And then proceeds to completely kick everybody's ass on the whole station.
Right. She took out all the guards on the station.
And you gotta think that the entire time, when these guards seen her, they did not think that this was an android who was going to take them down. Even watching it happen, if they were close enough to see, it happen to a guard, they're like, what is this woman doing?
Yeah.
How is she kicking all of our butts?
Right, in heels and a long dress, and
did she have a fur coat or a boa or something on her? It was
right, a boa or something.
I'm just like, oh my gosh, she's going crazy, and I loved it. I thought it was so funny because then
right, and we never really saw her fighting.
Right, you just
hear it in the background,
and then when she opens the door for Adrian and Five, she's like, all right. Let's go. I so wanted her to just go right into Android, okay, Five, I'm here for you. Just something like that. So Adrian's mouth would just drop. Although it did kind of anyway. What? And then when they go to save Adrian and Solara and 3, when they were in the force field, no, 3 went with her. That's right. But she's talking to the other android, and he's like, yes, you're human. She's like, check my heart again. And trying to talk to him. And you see him falter, like he looks at the chip, and like he's thinking about it.
Right.
But I was kind of ticked then, because he gets shot.
Right.
But it wasn't, like, he wasn't destroyed, right? It was just basically...
I doubt it.
Because I thought 3 said something about, we'll leave the chip, he can have it when he wakes up, or something like that. Or reboots or something. So obviously, if they didn't totally destroy it, they couldn't clean out a whole lot of the warehouse. So...
The hidden stash.
Yeah, they could take some of the stuff, but... Do you think that the security droid would have taken it?
I think so.
I feel like at some point it's going to be all of the androids taking it. And isn't that kind of what she's seen in that Future Flash?
I think so.
Okay. You never know. It starts with 1, right?
Right. And they have a whole group of them. It's not, it's not like Android's the first.
Right.
She already met up with the group that's already doing this, so.
One step forward.
No telling how much further they've infiltrated by now.
I'm assuming that's something that's definitely going to come into play this season.
Yep. I think so too.
All right. So let's talk about Mr. Pain in the Butt.
Hashtag things are not going well for Rio.
Right? I was a little distraught with things because there's a possible mining strike and military is losing in an area. And you have Takeo who, is like, no, you need to win the people back, but that means sacrifice. And then Rio is like, no, I don't want to do this. And then you have, hashtag Stupid Misaki who's like, I can't believe you're listening to him anyway. You should just kill people. And it's like heavy-handed offering bread. It's kind of, I guess it depends on what the people are going to respect and what has happened in the past. But do you want to end up like monarchs before you? So, and this is the kind of infighting, and I swear, Takeo and Misaki are just going to end up somehow taking each other out. And then Rio is just going to be like, well, crap, I have no advisor I can listen to now.
Well, I have a feeling Takeo is the one who's going to lose in that battle because Misaki is too well of a trained fighter and Takeo is just a teacher, so.
Yeah, but I just feel like somehow, like he might, I don't know, poison her wine or something and she kills him, but then ends up dying anyway. Yeah. I feel like that would be the only good way because Ryo's already mad that, she killed somebody.
Next.
That, without permission. And he feels guilty. And she's just like, she's mad at everyone. It's like, okay, you weren't ever going to be in charge, which is what I feel like she's mad about.
Right.
So, I don't know. I really don't know. And the next thing that happens, I want to say that I'm wrong, but I feel like Misaki did this.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So
I am in total agreement that she set up the assassination attempt with the Academy grads.
Right, because like he's congratulating all of them, and I'm like, really? You have like 10 Academy grads? That's it? Wow.
Right.
A little tough, but he's going down the line, shaking their hand. Congratulations, great job, yeah. And then the last one suddenly is going to be the one sweating and like a joy buzzer, basically, that's going to have poison.
Right.
But Misaki happened to see him sweating, and she's like, oh no, you have it. I'm like, that's a little over the top. And I'm like, no, it's got to be her.
Yeah.
Or
I think so too.
The only other thing that could possibly be somebody who's using Misaki's over-the-topness to play into their hands. Like, use her to play Rio into their hands.
Right.
Which I have no idea who it is because I have no idea any of the people in the background because...
Right, yeah. That would be someone unknown to us at this point in time, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I love it because Taiko's like, please, we need to win the people. This is why you don't just, heavy-hand it. And I think Misaki was like, this is a big middle finger to you. You need to do something else.
Right. This is one bit of advice that I am not taking. People must die.
Right. And again, I think Misaki had a lot to do with that.
Yes.
Because, yes, sending the people to win over the miners, but suddenly they were destroyed. Misaki didn't like that in the first place. I somehow don't feel like the mining strike was going to be like, let's destroy all these people.
Right.
Yeah. Or they're just planning a coup somewhere within the, his advisors and the fleet. And I'm saying this in parentheses or, air quotes. I don't know how many they sent. I forgot that they were sent elsewhere and they're just telling them it's destroyed.
Right.
There are so many like crazy tinfoil hat things that I can have right now because that is what all this monarchy crap is.
Right. And we know Misaki went and met with his generals off planet, so there's no telling what she did there. She could have started all this inaction at that point in time.
Gosh.
Yes, the fall of the House of Ashita is looking more and more imminent.
I wonder if he's going to somehow break and come back then because he realizes what happens. There's a head scratcher for you.
Yeah, that's a real one. Say he somehow survives the coup, but knows that he can't take over again. Yeah, that might cause him to, shall we say, grovel at Two's feet to, let him back on the ship. And that's where we get the, mind wipe and he has to agree to it, maybe.
See, so many theories.
Yep.
And now he wants to be ruling with an iron fist and killing people. Anybody who look cross-eyed. I think this is a bad idea, but...
Right. And who knew that this is definitely the pre-show Rio that we're seeing.
That we didn't know anything about, yeah.
Right, that we knew nothing about. And seeing that in the first 2 seasons, how Rio progressed as a person just makes this real hard to watch him be so completely different than what he was.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's got to be something that will trigger to him reverting back to what we know, at least hopefully.
Oh, I don't know. Too many unknowns. I don't like this.
Right. We haven't even gotten into a war battle yet.
Right. Yeah, what are you going to do then? Jeez.
Yeah.
He's too, I don't know, he's too, like, angsty teenager right now.
Right.
I don't know. It was a great episode, though. I really liked it.
Anytime we get to see Android doing what she did, it's an awesome episode.
Right.
I mean, taking out all the guards on the station and then basically talking down a security android, that was some awesome stuff.
I want to see more of her like that.
Yes. And I thought, because she came back and she changed clothes, but she wasn't in her droid clothes. And she was still being more human. And then I guess when she came back from dealing with the security android, she was back to being android again. I went, damn it.
It's like, no.
Stay the way you are.
Well, and I don't know. The emotions. We'll see.
Right.
All right. So I liked it. I hope you guys liked it. I'm assuming Steve's giving it a thumbs up, yes?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So let us know what you think. Shoot us an email at fangirlzonepodcast@gmail.com. Twitter, Facebook, anywhere that you want to find us, just shoot us a message, and we usually answer pretty quick because Steve or I usually have availability to answer quickly-ish. And I hope you guys are really having fun through the season and telling your friends, because we definitely want more people watching this. Because, like Steve said, anything over 1 million is really what they look at.
Right.
So don't forget to rate and review us on iTunes and every platform that you find us on, because we're all over the place and I can't even keep track. I have to write them all down and I still can't keep track. So, for this episode of Sci-Fi Talk, I'm Sean Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve. I don't date guys whose asses I've kicked.
And until next time.